What's happening, beautiful people? So if you're watching this video for the very first time, welcome. My name is Aman. Today I'm going to talk about how to get your goods from your supplier, wherever they are around the world, over to an Amazon FBA warehouse. Today I want to have a brief discussion with you guys about actually shipping goods from overseas or your supplier via air versus via ocean freight or sea. Now, out of the two methods, shipping by air is a lot easier, especially on paper. But shipping by air depends on a bunch of things. Number one is how much volume or weight you're actually going to ship. You also have to take into cost as a consideration because shipping by air tends to be more expensive than shipping by sea. Now, I'm not going to discuss air shipping in detail in this video because there's not much to know about it. My recommendation is to get a price from your supplier or your manufacturer because they typically will have a very good rate for shipping by air. Kind of the ballpark volume of goods where you want to be to determine if you want to ship by air or by sea is around 2 cbm or 2 cubic meters. I found that if you're in and around 1 to 2 cubic meters, it may be better to ship by air. That's kind of like the break point. Now, in my particular case, I did have an instance where I needed to ship around 2 cbm into Canada. I chose to ship by sea because it was a more economical choice for myself. For me, that 2 cbm was a difference of about $300-400 in total cost. So again, you got to figure out for yourself which one is a better solution for you. What I love about air shipping is that it's a very painless way to do shipping. The paperwork is less. Customs is usually taken care of for you. Your supplier manufacturer will take care of all that. If there's any extra costs associated like customs or whatever it may be, they'll let you know and you just pay them back the difference. Now, if your product is over 2 cbm, shipping by sea or ocean freight may be a better option for you. I'm pretty sure in most cases it's going to be cheaper, but the problem with sea shipping is it's going to take longer. You're looking minimum 25 days. In my case, I had 2 shipments. I shipped some products to the US via sea, and I shipped a bunch of product to Canada via sea shipping, and in both cases it was around 30 days. Now, you may want to also get a price for ocean freight or sea shipping by your supplier. They'll probably give you a decent price, but you got to be careful here because there's different types of sea shipping. They're going to give you some weird terms like EXW, FOB, DDU, and all these other things. Now, this is really important because if you decide to ship something directly to Amazon from your supplier and they're shipping by sea, whether it's by air, and it's not DDP, the chances are that the Amazon warehouse may reject your shipment because the duties weren't paid. The most important part is the duties paid, and that you want is DDP. DDP means delivered, duty, paid. What that means is that your supplier is going to, on your behalf, take care of all the duties, all the customs declarations, everything, and if there's any extra fees or anything that comes up, you'll need to pay them back, but they'll take care of everything A to Z. Now, if you decide to use a freight forwarder, they will take care of all this stuff again on your behalf. You're just going to have to sign a power of attorney, which is absolutely normal, and I did the exact same thing. Now, a couple of things you got to keep in mind if you use a freight forwarder. Your supplier will give you some prices regarding your goods. They'll give you an FOB price, or they'll give you an EXW price. EXW means X work. So what that means is once the goods are completed, they're not responsible for any shipping whatsoever. When you select a freight forwarder, they'll be responsible for picking up the goods from the factory. At that point, the responsibility of the goods changes hands from the factory to yourself until it gets all the way to the destination. The other option is FOB price, and this is the one that I recommend. FOB means free on board. So this is where your supplier manufacturer is responsible of getting your goods all the way to the port of where it leaves. So for example, if your supplier is in LA and they give you an FOB price and you've paid for your goods, the supplier manufacturer is responsible of getting the goods all the way to the port in LA of where it's going to leave to wherever the shipment is going. The responsibility of goods changes from the supplier or manufacturer to yourself or the freight forwarder once it gets onto the container of the ship. I've done both. I've never had a problem with both. A lot of people recommend getting an FOB price versus an EXW price. Again, it's totally up to you. So guys, I hope this video helps to determine the ins and outs of shipping via air or shipping via sea or ocean. Again, it's going to depend on the weight of your goods, how much of your goods you need to ship, cost, and of course, time. Again, I've shipped by both air and by sea, and each of them have their place. Whichever method you decide to use to ship your goods, whether it's by air or by sea, just make sure the paperwork is done correctly. The last thing you want to do is have some of your shipments stuck somewhere around the world, all because of one mistake you put on some paperwork. And finally, if your goal is to get from your supplier, wherever it is around the world, right to Amazon FBA, to one of the warehouses around the world, you got to make sure that you're shipping DDP, delivered, duty paid. Or the other option is that I personally prefer is to use a freight forwarder. So they take care of everything for me, like I said, from A to Z. They'll pick up the shipment from the supplier, get it on the boat, get it to wherever I want to be, say in the United States. From there, they'll take it to their warehouse. From that warehouse, You know, either I can set up the shipping plan and give them the labels and they'll send it over to Amazon FBA, or they'll take care of it for me all in the price. So just keep in mind, guys, you got plenty of options out there. Just make sure find the one that works for you and works for your budget. And of course, you got to look at your time. So guys, if you have any questions regarding shipping via air by sea, please leave it in the comments below and I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. But again, there's plenty of information on the internet and there's tons of YouTube videos out there as well. But I want to say, if you're watching this video for the very first time, you know what? Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe, part of the family. If you want to see more videos just like this, please click on the in the sky. Of course, to my peeps, be you, stay optimistic, enjoy the rest of your night. Here's a big high five from me to all of you.